Hi everybody, it's me Jill and welcome to Jill Informed. This is the recap of Vanderpump Rules Season 8, Episode 5, Grumpy Old Men. So we left the ladies at dinner in Miami. Katie and Stassi basically going after Kristen for her behavior. Listen, I see both sides of this. I really do. Kristen is struggling. She still loves Carter. It's tough. She's probably never had a relationship this good before, and it's still not great. So for her to break up with him is very difficult. On the other hand, Katie and Stassi, who she comes to and cries to and, cries on their shoulder about it, are giving her advice, and then she goes back and does the opposite. I get where the frustration is. And also, I feel like Stassi has been saying at least a few times in her confessionals, if Kristen would just say, I'm with him again, okay, that's fine, do it. It's saying you're not with him, yet you still live with him and sleep with him and see him every day. They're frustrated by that, and I understand. Anyway, now Kristen says to the other ladies, I've been there for both of them. I've been there for Katie when Tom was cheating on her all the time. Well, Katie loses it. She's like, excuse me? F you, Kristen. Then we get a flashback from 2014. Someone, I don't know who, asking Schwartz, who cheats on an amazing person like Katie? Schwartz, oh, well, I guess I do. Oh, God. I guess you do. Also, I'm sorry, Katie, an amazing person? No. Not the Katie I know. Katie now drags the bride-to-be into this. She goes, if she said I was there for you when Jax was cheating on you, how would you feel? You wouldn't like it either. Oh, poor Brit. She has dreamed of this bachelorette weekend since she was a little girl. Brittany, okay, well, this got very negative very fastly. I want to try and have fun still. So I guess they're heading to the strip club. And I didn't see anybody eat anything. Hopefully they did, but it just seems like they sat down to eat and then now they're getting up and leaving. So I don't know. Meanwhile, the boys are getting their old man makeovers. The makeup is so good, you guys. And they've taken on these, personas. Jax is Hal. Sandaval is Maurice. Schwartz is Nico. And Beau is Luke. I love shoes. Back at Sir, Lisa is telling Danica that tomorrow I am getting a Hollywood Legacy Award and we're going to come back here afterwards. So I'm going to need a table for tomorrow night. And Danica said, okay, no problem. I guess Danica's off probation, by the way. Not with me. The jury's still out for me with Danica, but yeah, she's back at Sir. Then Lisa tells her that next week is Pride, and Danica is going to have to be the manager by herself. Danica's like, what about Peter? And she's like, well, he'll be in the parade. So she's a little bit nervous. Oh, geez. Back in Miami, the strip club that I thought everyone was going to is 11. Do you guys remember the club where the Housewives of OC went? Yeah, that's where Bronwyn brought everybody. Apparently somebody at Bravo has a connection at 11. And Miami in general. Because now it's like all the trips are to Miami. I'd like to see a side-by-side of the Vanderpump girls dancing and Bronwyn and Tamara dancing. In fact, I would like there to be a dance-off. I'm requesting that right now. But seriously, I didn't know that 11 was a strip club because I'm pretty sure last week they said they were going to all go meet up at a strip club with the guys. I guess I just missed that when the housewives were there. Okay, so Katie is the one that spots the guys first. She's like looking across the room and kind of confused, and then she gets this smile on her face as she realizes that that's the guys. But for a moment there, all the girls are now looking over, trying to figure it out. They all look very confused, wondering if this group of elderly men is the guys. Well, let's just try and puzzle this one out, ladies. A group of 80-year-old men come shuffling into a strip club with a professional film crew? Could that be the guys? I'm gonna need more information. But everyone's dancing, having a good time. A big picture of Jax and Brittany comes up on the wall. As they're dancing, Katie tells Schwartz she doesn't like us anymore. And he said, who? And she's like, this one, pointing to Kristen. Then Katie says, she's cut. In Kristen's confessional, she's like, oh, okay, Katie, am I cut? That's so adult of you. Katie and Schwartz seem to be having fun with each other, which seems really rare to me, if I'm being honest. So, of course, Katie has to ruin the moment by telling him that she thinks that Sandaval is throwing him under the bus with this whole Stassi book party thing. In Schwartz's confessional, he said, just because I'm in the sidecar doesn't mean I'm Sandaval's sidekick. We're equal partners and he's got to respect that. Yes and no. I mean, they are equal partners in terms of how much of the business they own, but nobody thinks that Schwartz does the work Sandaval does, okay? Katie, I don't want to get involved in your affairs, but he's your friend and you can't let him get away with this. Yeah. Katie is basically pushing him to confront Sandaval, knowing that Schwartz probably doesn't want to do that and left to his own devices wouldn't confront him. But, you know, he married Katie. Now we're a Tom-Tom, and Lisa pops in to talk to Max, tells him that he's in charge of Tom-Tom during Pride, and he tells her that he would like to hire DJ James Kennedy for Pride. Lisa is very concerned. Max said he's not been drinking. Lisa, well, he's said that before, but I'm not sure the evidence supports that. Side note, Lisa is introduced a new bedazzled necktie for this confessional look. Over at Sir, Danica sits Dayna down for a little talk. About something that a manager should be talking to her employee about? Oh, no. Of course not. This is about her personal life. Something that Danica has no business discussing. Anyway, she wants to know how serious her relationship with Max is, and Dayna obliges. I don't think I would, actually. I think I would say this really doesn't have anything to do with my performance here. But anyway, she obliges and she said, I mean, it's still pretty new, but they like each other and they're just going to see where this goes. Danica then warns her that something happened with Max and another server there, Ariana. Poor Ariana is like, wiping glasses or something. And Danica, the most professional manager ever, not only talking to one employee about her personal life, but sharing another employee's personal life. Yeah. Pretty sure this is stuff you could maybe get written up for, if not fired. Anyway, she tells Dayna that Max said a lot of things to Ariana that would make her think that he was really into her. Where have we heard this before? I think Scheana has a bunch of text messages that might indicate that this story is true. Also, do you remember how Max told Scheana, yes, I led you on, but I've never done that to anyone else before ever? You mean except for this Ariana? Total scumbag. Anyway, the best part is that on Adriana's 30th birthday, Max slept with her friend. Happy birthday. Also, nice friend. So Dayna takes Danica's advice with a grain of salt. I mean, as she should. Not the part about Max. I'm sure that's all completely true. But just Danica's motives. I wouldn't necessarily believe that Danica had my best interest at heart. Okay, so back in Miami, it's 4 a.m. and everyone's back at the hotel. Peter and Scheana are in their room. Did I tell you guys they were sharing a room? Yeah. I don't know why. I mean, to save money, I guess? I don't know. But Peter's brushing his teeth. Side note, where was Peter? He did not dress up as an old man, did he? I never saw him, not once, if he did. So I'm not even sure he went to 11. It's so weird. I mean, he's been around since the beginning, hasn't he? I didn't watch the show since season 1, but I know he's been around for a long time. But it's like he'll never be made a full cast member. Maybe it's because he gives off like a real creep vibe. I'm not sure he can control that, but, it's there. All right, we cut to Lala. She's washing her face in her room. She's done for the night. Stassi and Beau are in bed. They're done for the night. Katie is in bed. She's done for the night. But in Brittany and Jax's room, it's Brittany, Kristen, Ariana, Jax, and the two Toms. They're still drinking, still hanging out. Brittany does go to bed. And the Toms and Ariana go in the other room. Jax and Kristen are talking. They have an odd friendship, those two. like I said, he was really good to her about the whole Carter thing. And now he's asking her how she's doing and stuff. But the real conversation is happening in the other room with the Toms and Ariana, because they're going to talk about Stassi's book party. Ariana tells Tom that she did tell Katie that the issue was with Schwartz. And Schwartz is like, I mean, that really hurt my feelings. And Ariana's trying to tell him why she said that. Sandaval: can I talk for a second? Schwartz, it's just that, we can't serve alcohol without serving food. And Schwartz goes, well, technically the kitchen was open. The chef was opening the kitchen. And Sandaval goes, no, he wasn't. Schwartz: yes, he was. Were you there? Then we get a montage of Sandaval apologizing with the word but in it. I'm sorry, but this. I'm sorry, but that. I mean, it was a substantial number of I'm sorry, buts. In Schwartz's confessional, he said, it's almost like his apologies are just a formality to get to the part where he tells us why he thinks what he did was right. Sandaval now is being super annoying because Ariana is speaking in his defense. And for the second time now, he asks her, can I talk? And he's doing it to Schwartz now, too. Now Schwartz, who has somehow absorbed the wisdom of an 80-year-old man, possibly through the makeup he's wearing right now, he says, I want to admit something. Sometimes I'm too passive. And Sandaval's like, yes, go on. And he said, sometimes at great cost to the minor details. But sometimes and he's saying this like to Ariana about Sandaval, but sometimes he's too focused on the minute details. Sometimes at great cost to the big picture. Wow. Holy crap. I think he's right. That was deeply profound, Schwartz. But realizing that there's probably a great deal of alcohol involved here, like all the way around, the genius of what Schwartz said kind of went right over Sandaval's head. And now he just wants Schwartz to admit that both of them f***ed up. Side note, I would also like to remind everybody that Sandaval knew about this party ahead of time. And I feel like if he wasn't being a little baby about everything, he would have voiced his concerns early on and said, hey, there needs to be food, there needs to be that. But he didn't, because he thought, okay, fine. Stassi didn't call me, so I'm not going to step in and make sure this goes right. I hope it all falls apart. That's what I think. And that's pretty immature, especially when we're talking about this is his own bar. And you would think that no matter what, he would want it to be successful. I mean, and I could be wrong, it's just my opinion, but even though I feel like there's fault on both sides, I think Sandaval was throwing a little pity party for himself there. Now we get a touching little back and forth between Sandaval's confession cam and Schwartz's confession cam. And, let me just say this. There's a lot of love there, folks. These two will be bros till the end of time. Now it's the next morning, and the guys all slept in their old man makeup. I don't think they were supposed to. The makeup artist said to call her no matter when it was, like 5 a.m, whenever they were about to go to bed. She said, just call me and I will come and get the makeup off. Because, it's not just makeup, but there was like prosthetic stuff too, Katie and Schwartz are talking in bed, and Katie's still pissed at Kristen. She says, I'll show her how to take a break from someone. I'll take a break from her. Side note, say what you will about Katie. She's obnoxious, but she has got the best eyebrows ever. They are perfection. Jax and Schwartz go to Sandaval's room to get their makeup off, I guess. Maybe that's where the makeup artist is coming. But Jax starts pulling his off right away. He's like tearing at the hair and the face stuff. Oh God, you guys, he is digging in there with a butter knife. It is so gross. Why did you even go to Sandaval's room if you were just going to pull it off yourself anyway? All right, most of the girls go to the beach. Most of the guys go to the pool. Kristen and Scheana go to the pool with the guys. I think that was a wise move on Kristen's part because Katie, not ready to talk to Kristen. But of course, both are talking about each other. Now we cut back to Dayna's apartment, and Max comes over. He asks her how it's going at SUR, and she tells him that everyone's treating her badly. Max, I get the sense that it's about me. Wow. So insightful. Now Dayna tells him the story that Danica told her about Adriana and her 30th birthday. Yeah, it's a good story. Max has the decency to look nervous again. He looks a lot like he did when Scheana was pulling out all of her text messages from him. And listen, if Dayna hasn't chosen to leave him yet, the next sentence out of his mouth should help her decide. He tells her it's untrue, and these girls are just servers at SUR. He's the general manager of Tom Tom, so he could forbid them from coming into his bar. But he's not petty like that. Oh my God. Couple things. Danica is a manager at SUR. She's not just a server. Adriana didn't say a word. She was being talked about. And secondly, he did it again. He called Tom Tom his bar. And I cut him slack the first time because I said that that's how people might refer to a bar they work at. Hey guys, come over to my bar. I'll serve you drinks or whatever. I was cutting him slack for that, but not the way he just said it this time. Now that makes me think that the girls who said that he told them he owned a percentage of it, it makes me believe them. It just fits his character. Plus, he has this inflated sense of what it means to be a manager at a bar. It's a little strange. All right, we briefly check in with the Miami kids. They're all getting ready to go out again that evening. We cut back to SUR. Oh, hey! We see Raquel. I almost forgot that she worked there. We haven't seen her since episode 1. Side note, if she got with James so she could be on camera and get famous, she really hitched her wagon to the wrong horse because James himself is hardly on. We've barely seen either of them. Anyway, Danica and Dayna have a super fake conversation. Danica walks up to the stand where Dayna is, and Dayna tells her, hey, listen, I really wanted to thank you for that talk we had the other day. Thanks so much. I mean, I'm still with Max, and I didn't listen to a word you said, but I really appreciate your concern. I mean, she didn't say all that, but she should have, because what she said was so super fake. It was just like, thank you so much. I really appreciated it. And Danica's like, yeah, hey, just had your best interest at heart. Heart of gold, Danica. All right, back in Miami. We are at a new club. Everybody is there. In Brittany's confessional, she said, I think Kristen looks up to me and Jax. I know Kristen's a hot mess, but just the idea that anybody would look up to Brittany and Jax, it just cracks me up. Anyway, what she's saying is that she thinks that she looks up to them as a way of how a relationship can work after going through a lot of crap, meaning Jax's infidelity. Anyway, she says, I really feel like Kristen wants the same thing for her and Carter. And you know what? She's probably right, actually. Back at SUR, Lisa and Ken and their guests arrive. They're sitting at her special table. Dayna is their server. Lisa's quizzing her a little bit, but Dayna does pretty good. Brett brings their drinks and asks Lisa if she wants to work out with him tomorrow. Lisa thinks he's so hot, too. Just, those two guys. Ugh. Back in Miami, Sandaval there's a giant head of Brittany and a giant head of Jax, and Sandoval's got a smoke machine, and Kristen and Stassi sit down together to talk, which ends up in a hug. Stassi tells her that no matter what, she's going to always love her, but that she's frustrated. And Kristen tells Stassi that what Katie said hurt her feelings. Stassi tells her that she's frustrated with her. And in Stassi's confessional, it's kind of what I said that Stassi's been saying all along. Stassi said, listen, I don't really like Carter, but if he is what Kristen needs to be happy, I wish she would just get back with him then, so we could just stop all this and be friends again. I mean, when you think about it, it's a dumb thing to not be friends about, but like I said before, I see both sides and I understand both sides. Anyway, Brittany tells us that she had the best bachelorette party ever, with a few bumps in the road. And then she and her friends, fully dressed, jump into a pool. Well, not the Vanderpump Rules cast members, not those friends. I don't think they would want to get their hair messed up. These are Brittany's like real friends who came along for the trip too, that are her bridesmaids, but are actual friends. Yeah, they all jumped in a pool with Brittany. And that's where this episode ends. All right, thank you guys so much for joining me. I hope you liked this episode. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing to Jill Informed. Also, I would love to hear from you. What did you think of this episode? Leave a comment down below, and I will see you for the next recap of Vanderpump Rules. Bye.